Okay, so back to that appetite subject again, and things that we can do to suppress an appetite if we think it's unduly large for our actual food requirements. Sometimes, I mean, our appetite is there to drive us for food because we are physically hungry. So be aware of that. But if you feel that your appetite is excessively large compared to what you need to eat, then these are some tips. And also bear in mind that if you are on a hypercaloric diet, as in you are consuming fewer calories than you need, you will be slightly hungry. There's no getting away from that fact, because your body's a homeostatic organ. It wants things to stay the same all the time. And if you are losing weight, it's trying to stop you from doing that. It doesn't want changes. It wants things to stay the same, albeit that may not be healthy for you to stay at the weight you are. You might be healthier being a few pounds or a few stone lighter. But being a little bit hungry, you don't have to be starving. Being a little bit hungry will be part of the journey. And so these tips can help just to help suppress that appetite and make you feel a bit less hungry while still, managing to lose the weight. The body naturally produces quite a few peptides and hormones that suppress hunger. But there's one class of receptors that are called mechanoreceptors in the stomach that don't respond to hormones, but they actually respond to a physical change in the stomach, and that's the stretching of the stomach. So essentially, as the stomach gets full with food and starts to stretch, that's when these mechanoreceptors kick in and send signals to the brain saying, okay, now I've had enough. Which is partly why we talk about so much about how you eat food, so that as you start to eat and the tummy starts to stretch slightly, you've got chance for the mechanoreceptors to talk to the brain and tell you that you've had enough to eat. If you're bolting your food down, suddenly you can feel extremely full and stuffed and uncomfortable before your brain's had chance to register, I'm actually full. So eating slowly and mindful is part of that. But it's really important as well that what the food that you're using to stretch the stomach wall slightly is, if you're looking for hypercaloric diet, is a low calorie food. If we stretch that food full with, 5 bags of M&Ms, for example, going to be a hell of a lot more calories in that than if we stretch it full with broccoli. And I'll tell you why. I'll use broccoli as an example in a minute. Now, I'm not saying that you should only eat vegetables. You know that my principles of following a good diet are, everything in moderation. But we do need vegetables in there for the micronutrient quality. We do need them there for the vitamins and the minerals. And vegetables high in cellulose will add that bulk that won't, if we've got vegetables that are very high in water content, such as cucumbers, for example, or the inside of a cucumber, they quickly shrink because of the high water content, whereas those rich in cellulose don't shrink as quickly, and there's a lot more digestive fibre. The fibre that you have in spinach and in greens and kale and that kind of thing. So all those type of vegetables, your cabbage, Brussels sprouts, your collard, your greens, cauliflower, all that type of greeny, fibrous vegetables high in cellulose is the type of food that you want to get into your diet, and that also gives your intestines past your stomach the bulk, and has a big impact actually as well on your biotic flora, the microbes in your gut that will deem whether your gut is healthy or not. Those type of vegetables have a big impact on the flora, the type, the makeup of your microbiome that is inside your gut. So they've kind of got a double whammy, as well as providing the bulk for movement, for peristalsis, for good regular bowel movements. They provide prebiotics to nourish the probiotics. So it's really key. I mean, it's key in any way to include vegetables in your diet, but just be conscious that the more, and I say about this when I'm looking at plate makeup, you want some protein on your plate, you want a source of energy on your plate that's about right for your activity levels with your carbohydrates or your fats, and the ratio of that's going to depend on you as an individual, what feels right for you. But always have a great, I say a great big portion of vegetables. I have to be careful because some people have intolerances to huge amounts. It can cause digestive upset. But always have a decent size of vegetables on your plate. And if you can get those vegetables high in cellulose content, then they are going to make you feel fuller. They're going to make you feel fuller quickly. They're going to make you feel fuller for longer. They're going to improve the health of your digestive tract. They're going to give you regular bowel movements, provided you have enough water on board, so you're drinking plenty again. And they're going to contribute to the overall goodness of your gut health. So be mindful of that when you're looking at your plates, when you're looking at your meal times. Get those veggies in, okay? I'll speak to you about the third later on. Bye.